Okay, so we are drawing up this floor. We've gone over the wall tool. Does anybody have questions about that right now? So in their building shell tool set, there's the wall tool or shortcut number 9. So we can draw our walls. We can do an unstyled wall. We also created those different wall styles. So if I go into the wall style drop down menu, I can go into my open files. Oh, I didn't save it. Never mind. So I can just create an unstyled wall, or I can design some walls of my own. So this is going to be a dash line, and it's going to be 6 inches. So I actually want to save that preferences as a wall style, and that's a demo wall, and I'll specify 6 inches. I'm also going to want to do edit wall attributes because I also want a solid wall, and this is going to be save preferences as wall style, 6 inch existing. And then I'm also going to do new construction. So back to the edit wall attributes, change my fill to black. Okay, now I have my walls. So I can go through my, now I should be able to go into my open files. And now there's my 3 wall styles there. So we're going to draw our existing walls. We are going to, and I'm assuming you guys have all done that up until this point and are feeling pretty good about that. So we have our walls, and we're going to need to place doors in those walls. So at this point we can just use an unstyled door. The first click sets the location of the door. The second click specifies the orientation. We can also do the offset insertion mode. So by selecting that, it changes our cursor just back to a regular cursor. The first click is going to be our point of reference, and then where we locate our door, we can use our O key to toggle between the different reference points of the door, and then the second one places or orientates the door. Okay, windows act as in a very similar way. So I can see that here's my window tool just under my door tool. I can select that. This mode menus along the top are exactly the same. So I can just click and insert the door, and then I want to orientate it, and then it's going to insert my window in my wall. Up in my object info palette, it says window in wall. I can make my changes. Right now we are just doing plan view. So I can change the width of my window. So if I scroll down in the object info palette, I can see width, and I can change this, say if I want a 4-foot door or 4-foot window. Right now, that's all we're going to really need to be doing is changing the width, just because we're looking at it in plan view. Again, I can go and I can do my offset insertion mode, and I can also go into my window preferences, and I can open up and see all the things that it can do in there. Right now we're just using the 2D component object, and as it is, works well. I did go over the wall join tool. So the wall join tool, we can join our walls. So if Vectorworks is pretty intuitive in automatically joining our walls, but if we move something around or we add something and we need to join it after, we can use the wall join tool. We have to be conscious if we're trying to do a T-join, an L-join, or an X-join. And when we hover our cursor over our wall, it selects it, and then we move our cursor over to the second wall that we're going to join, and it makes that connection. I can also select both walls, and it says 2 walls, and go Command J, and that's joins those walls in an L join only. So that's for joining walls. Sometimes we might actually want to split our walls. So if, for instance, I had bump in, or I'll do a bump out, we want to keep our walls as continuous as possible, but sometimes we're going to need to make adjustments. So instead of redrawing this wall here, I'm just going to use the split tool. So the split tool is a little, looks like a knife. It's the shortcut number L, or letter L. If I select that, there's different options. I'm going to use for walls my line split mode, and I can then split a wall that I drew my line over. So it's just as if I'm using a line, drawing a line, but that line cuts whatever objects it intersects. Then what I can do is I can shrink this wall down and join those two. So I know that I've maintained the location. I know that they're the right, orient the walls in the right place. I just needed to split it so I can put it into 2 walls. Any questions about that at this point? All good?